this has to be one of the most modern things I have ever seen. It's the cornerstone of our culture, if you will. When my kid is going to grow up and he's going to ask me, like, Daddy, how was entertainment in your time? I would show him this picture because it symbolizes what we've experienced for the last 5 years or so. Think about, the new Indiana Jones, where they bring up an elderly Harrison Ford to do the role again, even though you look at him and imagining him swinging a whip is absolutely ridiculous. And they do this constantly with other IPs as well. Like they bring an elderly Sylvester Stallone to play Rambo again. They are bringing an elderly Keanu Reeves in order to have a new Matrix. Like you have these actors that were action movie actors, and in their prime they were awesome and amazing. But instead of finding other amazing young people, instead of finding new talent that would be the next generation, the talent that we get, the new generation, they look like they could play the part. So they look like they're professional in what they do. However, they rely on PR and public opinion to sell tickets rather than excellence and performance. I mean, when you look at Jake Paul, he is being managed to appear as a cheeky little shit. That is his brand. And whether it is the PR team that's trying to make him look like that, his background, his mannerisms, the way he presents himself on camera, reminds me of wrestling, which was fake. And you had the heel, and the heel was the wrestler that everyone hated, and it was managed by the company so that you do hate him. And people would pay money just to see the next fight, hoping that the wrestler that they hate is going to get beaten up in the ring. And this is pretty similar to what's happening with Jake Paul. Like, when he announced the fight with Mike Tyson, everyone was paying tickets wanting to see Mike Tyson dominating Jake Paul. Now, going to my parallel, to my comparison with Hollywood movies, you have the Mike Tyson-like actors. You got your Harrison Fords and Keanu Reeves, and people that Hollywood just won't leave alone because the new generation is awful. Like, the new generation is the Rachel Ziegler's, the Peter Dinklages, the Emma Watsons that constantly have to be cheeky little shits in order to drive controversy online. Like, they will go online, they will say some of the most offensive things, and they will disparage most of the fans in the hopes that this generates buzz, this generates controversy, and people keep talking about it, and the name of the movie trends, and that's the publicity. So we're in a situation where there's no upcoming talent. People are tuning out of entertainment. They're going for the entertainment placed by other countries. They're going for anime. They're going for South Korean movies. They're going for anything else because Hollywood and Disney and the entertainment at large is either still bringing the previous generation that shouldn't be there. Like, there's no reason why you need to have Mike Tyson in a ring again. And let's be honest, you most likely will get a Sylvester Stallone at some point doing a Rocky sequel. Because why not? Why not? I mean, this is where we're at, right? It's normalized. And the upcoming generation, as I mentioned, they don't rely on talent or skill in order to be there. They rely on PR and the public image and persona they display, which is usually negative in nature. Now, I'm not a big fan of boxing. I understand the rules of the competition, and I was genuinely curious to see where this shit show will go. Those of you that follow me on Twitter, you know that I tweeted out about it. And so, I'm tuning in during the middle of the night. It's like 3 a.m. Romanian time. And I know it's on Netflix, so it's like, okay, let's see what's going on. And I see two women fighting, and they're fighting, and they're fighting, and it's being hours. And I'm like, is this what boxing is like? Like, you're tuning in for the promo event, and you gotta sit through other fights you don't care about. Like, I don't want to see women fighting. I want to see Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. And boy, did I regret that decision. Boy, did I ever realize that those women fighting were more interesting than the actual main event. Like, those two women fighting was actually legendary. I immediately had the misogyny washed away from me without the help of any HR department, without any anti-racist getting paid or any gender expert. No, no, like all it took was to see the Mike Tyson versus Paul fight, and immediately I was like, you know what? Those two ladies aren't so bad. I'm going to start supporting women's sports from now on because at least they're trying. At least they're there. The thing with the actual fight, a lot of people are saying that it may be rigged. Obviously, that is a possibility. We would never know. But I don't think it was rigged. No. What I think happened, actually, and again, I'm not a boxing expert, just by looking at the fight and making my own opinion. I do believe that Mike Tyson's reflexes were a lot lower than they're supposed to be. And this is something that's natural for most humans. Like, the more you age, your reflexes become slower. And you can see this in people that play video games professionally. Because there, you don't actually need any muscles. You don't actually need any body strength to move the mouse and press the keyboard. But it just so happens that as people age, their reflexes go slower, so they can't play the same video game professionally anymore, right? Now, in boxing, obviously, it's a lot more difficult than playing video games, right? Like, your body is also important. And the more you age, your reflexes get slower. And I could definitely see with the fact that Tyson wasn't very mobile. He wasn't very sprinty. He wasn't performing in the same way that a young person like Jake Paul did. Now, he was throwing punches, and he did seem to cause a little bit of damage when the punches connected. But again, like, if you wanted for that to happen, you had to get close to him. And I think that the moment Jake actually hit Tyson, he realized where things are at. And he realized that if he knocks him out, which was a possibility, Jake's image would have been absolutely destroyed. Like, it's one thing to be the heel and to have people hate you, but it's another thing to have, like, people disgusted with you. And I think that if Jake would have knocked out Tyson, that's the reaction, right? Because most people were also against the fight. They were like, dude, why do you keep challenging these individuals? Like, I know that Tyson is a brand name and that you're going to get eyeballs, but don't do a Kathleen Kennedy. Don't bring back Luke Skywalker just to humiliate him, because then people will resent you. And the whole business model of Jake Paul is pretty much this. Like he is not into fighting people from professional boxing. Like, he's more into either asking people from different sports to go into boxing. So, like, he would ask an MMA guy to go into boxing. Or he is going to try to dig up Muhammad Ali so he can fight the corpse. Like this is where we're at. I know that he fought other boxers, but, like, mainly this is a shtick. This is the moneymaker. This is how he manages to sell fights. It's either getting someone that's not proficient in and specializes in boxing, and this will get eyeballs because people want to see, oh, this is an MMA fighter and now he's going to do boxing, like, it's going to be interesting, let's watch. Oh, is Jake Paul going to get his ass kicked? Oh, or is this guy, right? This is what gets the money. This is what gets people in seats. It's not when Jake Paul challenges another boxer. Like, no one cares about that. It's when he challenges Muhammad Ali. And people want to see, is the corpse going to move? Is he going to knock out Jake Paul? I mean, it's Muhammad Ali, like, surely, right? Like, this is where we're at. And it's sad. I gotta say, it's sad. But the reality, I think, is that as technology moves forward, and we get better special effects in movies, and we got video games, and we get VR, and we get, like, all sorts of other entertainment, people aren't as interested in sports as they used to be. Like, there's still people interested in boxing, but I doubt that the number of people that are interested is as high per capita as it used to be back in the day. And it's just because entertainment evolved. So the only way to get people interested in boxing is to try these shenanigans, is to try these PR stunts where you have, like, someone with an already audience built on YouTube going around challenging people from the grave like Muhammad Ali, beating up people that shouldn't be on the ring, right? Like most people that are on Mike Tyson's age don't go in the ring anymore. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. Again, I'm not an expert in boxing, but I do know that in football, once a person is around the age of 35, they just stop playing and they become a coach or they become someone else, right? Like, it's how the world works, right? Am I wrong? So yeah, this whole event reminded me of the last Indiana Jones movie, where people would go there just to see, oh, can Harrison Ford still swing a whip? Is he still going to be able to punch a Nazi? And you're watching the movie and you realize, no, he's not a convincing action hero anymore. Like, it's normal. It's just the natural order of things. And then they try to replace him with a young lady that no one likes. Just like no one likes Jake Paul. And it's like, okay, so the new generation isn't there. Because that's the interesting thing, you know? Like, when it comes to action movies, you could have had, like, an actual convincing person that can pull off an action hero. You know, an up-and-comer. Like, someone that no one knows. And they would be the ones that they would take the torch from Indiana in a respectful way, without trying to humiliate the character or anything like that. Like, no, you know, the character maybe becomes their mentor or something like that. Like in Batman Beyond, you got Bruce becoming the mentor of Terry McGinnis. And then the audience would have liked that. And it would have been wholesome and it would have been a continuation. But instead, they got a similar thing to this. Where, you know, people don't like Jake Paul more now because he managed to defeat Mike Tyson. Like, no one thinks that. And people are looking at Mike Tyson's performance not with awe and admiration, but it's like, what the fuck is this? Right? So this is entertainment in 2024. This is what defines our culture. And hopefully at some point things will change. But I don't hold my breath. Let me know what you guys think though. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.